You know, this is a rather funny story. It began back on the 4th of January 2014. At least that was the first time I mentioned this video's topic. Back then I made my first annual top 9 list of things for Planetside for that year. And there, I mentioned this simple, easy to implement change for Infiltrator. Give it smoke grenades. It makes sense to give this to stealth class, doesn't it? And so year after year, I include this in my list. Yet, it seems the devs don't want to take the hint. But now, I just want to hammer my point hard once and for all. Say what you will, but this is probably the most obvious item to add to stealth class. It's just as obvious as giving explosives to heavy and engineer. But then why wouldn't you add smoke nade to Infiltrator's tool belt? And you know what? Let's see arguments against it. Light Assault already has this available, and thus far it's the only class able to use it. Fair enough. But then again, there are also weapons like Solstice SF, Equinox and Eidolon, as well as other faction equivalents, that has under-barrel smoke grenade launchers. The difference between smoke nade and noob tubes is that smoke nade lasts longer, but you can't throw it as far, and I would say it's a decent trade-off. Now, then why shouldn't Infiltrator get smoke nade? Well, that would mean that Light Assault wouldn't be the only class with this unique item. And yeah, okay, that's fair enough, since every class has special nades that only they can use. Infiltrator has EMP and that useless piece of shit decoy, Light Assault has flash and smoke, NG has sticky nades, Medic has res and heal nades, and finally Heavy Assault has concussion and AV nades. While I like class uniqueness, sharing some tools doesn't break that uniqueness. A good example is secondary weapons and SMGs, but that's beside the point. My real point here is this. Remember once, back in not so distant past, Engineer was the only class able to use battle rifles. Then one happy day, devs decided to give access to this weapon to Medic and Heavy too. And did anyone complain? Well, frankly, I think that people rejoiced about this. Granted, battle rifles are crappy just like any other semi-automatic, but that's a story for another time. And you know what's funnier? Battle rifles can have smoke noob tubes too. And by giving Heavy Assault this weapon, devs gave this class smoke launcher too. And you know what? I'm not quite sure, but I think that Heavy Assault is being used more than Infiltrator. So, what was your argument again? Alright, it was about Light Assault being less unique by sharing its smoke grenade. Yeah, good joke. Anyways, moving on. Another argument says that smoke in Planetside causes frame drops. Well, fair enough. This is a problem in really many games, and only few have done smoke really well. But again, I have to point to Battle Rifle and Heavy Assault. Before Battle Rifle, Heavies didn't have access to any type of smoke creating item. So now that they have it, some use it. An amount of people using smoke in typical battle also increases. But even then, you don't see that many players using smoke, even if it's very effective. Say what you will, but giving Heavy smoke would cause more problems than giving it to Infiltrator. But no, I guess not from the looks of things. But okay, let's say that there was arguments saying that smoke nade shouldn't be added to any other class because of performance issues, and the fact that Infiltrator is also visible more in it. Well, first things first, every time I see a smoke cloud, I run in it with my Infiltrator, not run away from it. If anyone is shooting me at the time, they immediately lose track of me as soon as I enter that smoke. So I guess that premise is bullshit. Though when you're staying still, you might be more visible. As soon as you start moving, anyone can be lost in smoke. And yet, I give you that much that this is a refutation from subjective level. But okay then, what about that performance thing? So you're telling me that because the game is broke as fuck, some already existing features shouldn't be added anywhere else? What the fuck? No really, what the fuck is this shit? Is this even an argument? Hold on, let me make an analogy here. Say for example, Heavy Assault shouldn't get any secondary weapon because on other classes, they're broken. You see how dumb this sounds? Yes, the feature needs fixing, but this absolutely does not mean that it shouldn't be given to something that deserves it. How fucking idiotic is this? And as an FYI, I'm exaggerating everything, obviously, but it does help me make my point. Okay, then I talked about arguments against this, but what about the opposite? Obviously, Infiltrator uses stealth to do its job. Now, what is Smoke Grenade's task? To distract, confuse, and mask. These are stealth basics! Almost its definition, for fuck's sakes! So why would you not give this to the most stealthy class to begin with? This is one of the things that I still can't fathom after almost 4 fucking years. And if you're going to say that Infiltrator is stealthy as it is already, somebody should punch you in the face for being stupid. I know asking for vehicle hacking on my part was sort of like a pipe dream, but adding smoke nade frankly would require so little effort, it's ridiculous. As anecdotal argument, you can say that smoke nade would make Infiltrator more like a ninja, which actually sounds kinda awesome. Still, at this point Infiltrator has that default frag nade and EMP nade, and that's it. No, I refuse acknowledging that thing. Anyhow, smoke nade would give Infiltrator a nice alternative to EMP, just like smoke is a nice alternative to flashbang. Frankly, I feel that the only argument, by the end of this, against smoke has always been class uniqueness. If smoke is given to Infiltrator as well, then Light Assault would not be special anymore. Really? Really? Anyhow, you know smoke nade does only visual changes and has no lethal potential, yet I consider it to be alternative to EMP or frag nade. Now that you don't see often, where non-lethal item can be considered in the same league as lethal one. And yeah, sure, EMP isn't that powerful, but it has additional effects. Now, as the last thing on this, I know you guys have your own takes on the matter, so please let me know what you think. And maybe you'll convince me that I'm wrong. Or maybe together we might actually get a new, very useful tool for the most awesome class out there. So, if you can, share this with devs wherever you can. Also, lube riot.